Woody, it wasn't his best. He didn't have his best stuff, but you look back and pop up that wasn't caught lost in the twilight, from the other guys, and that happens. And an ode to heat or to the pitcher that you don't expect, was the difference in the game. So, it's one of those days. We haven't had many of those, but. Jaime was good. Jaime was good, and obviously when you got a lead like that, he made pitches and was comfortable. So, we got to kind of flush this one out and get ready for tomorrow.
You mentioned you haven't had many of those. Is this kind of, is it better to kind of get it all out at once in a way when you haven't had games like this in the past?
I guess so. It was good for, obviously Josh on the back end to give us 2 innings right there, and Avalon. So that was good, and Strip comes in there. But, Woody hasn't had an outing like that all year. So it's one of those things that you don't like those days, but, it's still one loss, and we still feel pretty good about ourselves.
You guys have played such clean baseball for such a long time. What do you make of not just Woody dropping that ball, but then Trace in left field making some mistakes yesterday, kind of happening all at once? How do you explain it?
I don't know. We do pride ourselves on playing clean baseball, and there was a spurt there, a couple games before the All-Star break. We got a little sloppy, and this is one of those games that and yesterday there were a couple plays, but I think overall I think it just kind of blended in, and we just didn't look great. It's hard. We're still competing. Guys running balls out, Cody there, and Kike still had a nice night, and there were some good things, but you look at the scoreboard, and it was a tough one. So it's one of these you just want to put out of your mind as quick as possible.
What do you make of the at-bats the last couple of days?
I think the at-bats are good. I really do. I don't think the results. We had some balls hard. Didn't have something to a whole lot to show for it, but I think the approach and the quality of contact, good. It's just, yesterday NCRT's running everything out in the outfield down, and today we had some balls hard. But it's just, that's the beauty of baseball.
It's kind of put into perspective how difficult what this last 35-game stretch has been like for you guys.
Yeah, and I think that we enjoyed that ride. And so, we plan on coming in here and starting a new one today. But, they're playing good baseball. That's a good offensive club. And when you run into guys that are throwing the baseball well, Fulte yesterday and Jaime today. But, yeah, when you look back at the last month and what we accomplished, it's pretty special. It really is. But the focus on trying to prepare and win a game, that hasn't wavered.
Do you feel like, obviously, in the course of the season, you're going to have these ups and downs, and you guys were really rolling? But for them to come in here and kind of hit you in the nose, is this one of those moments where you're like, all right, guys, let's see what we're about. Let's show them what we're about. And you kind of learn something about yourselves in these moments?
Well, I think that we already know what we're about. And, that's a good club again. So you're not going to win them all. And, they're playing good baseball. So I don't think it's one of those now we got to show you type thing. I think it's just we're going to go out there tomorrow, come back, and ready to win a game. So I already know about the character in that clubhouse. So we just got to go out there and, score more than they do.
You should see my Twitter feed, though. People are ready to, leap off buildings and stuff.
I'm sure you initiate that, Dylan. And people like to jump on. So that's okay. That's all right. It wouldn't be the first time this year. But no. It just, again, to Rowan's question, it's like what we did was pretty dang phenomenal. And, when you lose 2 games and it doesn't look pretty, but that's kind of across baseball. That's what happens. So it's the teams that can kind of turn the page and win a game and change that narrative.